Chapter 2. I wake up with a throbbing headache, run my paw over my head, and find a large bump. Talking is dangerous. It could get you killed. Daylight is coming through the clear-story windows. On the ceiling is a painting of birds in mid-flight. I've never seen such vivid colors, and there are colors I never knew existed. The wall facing me is decorated with exotic trees and animals. The colors are just as startling. So many. All so brilliant. Where am I? And since when do I sleep on my back? I roll to one side and see a mural with pretty girls, carrying gold plates of food and richly decorated wine jars to the tables of well-dressed men and women. Some of the guests are already dining. The last thing I ate was the perch I caught when that brute threw me in the Nile. When my stomach stops rumbling, I hear another sound. No, it's not me breaking wind. Done that already. This is different. Thump, thump, thump. It's the beating of a heart. I roll over to my other side. For the love of Bastet, it's the pharaoh. With his shaved head uncovered, he looks even younger, and the morning light bathes his face in gold, making him more godlike than any painting or statue of a god I've ever seen. And his smell is pleasing, like the odor of the sacred blue lotus. My stomach sends another appeal. On the pharaoh's side of the bed is a small table with a pyramid of fruit on a gold tray. It's as high as my tail when fully erect. Pomegranates form its base, figs, dates, and grapes the middle, and red berries the top. I swore to myself I would never again eat fruit. I'd been starving for days when I came across a piece and forced myself to take a bite. I became as sick as a dog. A dog! The shame of it! But now I want to taste all the fruit in the pyramid. Next to the pyramid are an ivory spoon and a lotus-shaped alabaster goblet. I have a vague memory of the pharaoh holding my head up while spooning water from the goblet into my parched mouth. Beside the alabaster goblet is another goblet, similar in design, but smaller and made of gold. It's half filled with wine. I've always found the smell of wine repulsive, but now it's enticing. I crawl to the edge of the bed and jump down, land on my hind paws and walk upright. Almost forgot I could. I stick my tongue in the wine goblet and lap up a few drops. Unbelievably delicious. After a few more laps, I turn to the fruit pyramid, pull out a date, and devour it. Just as delicious. I spit the pit across the room and reach for one of the red berries that form the top of the pyramid. To my horror, all the berries roll down the sides, bounce off the gold tray, and fall to the floor. With the berries gone, and the devastation takes only a few seconds, the lowly mastaba sits where a lofty pyramid once stood. Is this going to get me another whack on the head? The berries are rolling on the floor, spreading like fire over the multicolored geometric pattern. Mercifully, the pharaoh has slept through it all. My appetite gone, I slip back into bed. Again I smell blue lotus, hide under the covers curled up beside his right arm, and fall into a troubled sleep. I'm awakened by the pharaoh's thrashing about. I raise my head and see his two big feet sticking out from under the linen sheet, begging to be tickled. I crawl down the bed, and as my tail flicks across his soles, I look up at his face. He's smiling in his sleep. My tail persists, and he wakes up laughing, showing his pearly white teeth. Tears begin to roll down his face. Stop, stop! You are killing me! The curtain to the bedchamber is suddenly drawn, and the vizier, his staff held high, rushes into the room with a group of guards. What? They were right outside waiting for me to do something untoward? The cat is killing our pharaoh, the vizier yells. The pharaoh sits up and I scrunch down, my tail swishing violently. The vizier and the guards run towards the bed, slip on the berries, and land on their asses. They struggle to get up, falling every which way on the slippery floor. By the time they're upright, they're covered in berry juice from head to toe. The vizier's face is red, but not from the berries. I will arrest this beast that has dared to assault our pharaoh, he growls, moving towards me. I unsheathe my claws. The pharaoh raises his right hand. Beware, this cat is under my royal protection. Whoever harms him will have harmed me. I retract my claws. The vizier has turned a deeper shade of red. You have never spoken to me that way before, he whispers, so quietly only I hear him. Forgive my intrusion, he says to the pharaoh, then to the guards. Let us be gone. Bowing and walking backwards, they can't see the berries, land back on their asses, and again struggle to get up. When they finally stand, the date pit I spat earlier is stuck on the vizier's forehead, right where I hit him with the amulet I spat at him in the tomb. Now's as good a time as any to exercise my ability to talk. What's happened to my cat amulet? The vizier stares at me murderously. He wouldn't dare defy the pharaoh, but as a precaution I move closer to my protector before saying, Cat got your tongue? He raises his staff slightly, and it begins to quiver. You said you were leaving, Kakamut, the pharaoh reminds him. He and the guards again bow and walk backwards toward the curtain, this time without incident. When the curtain is closed, the pharaoh bursts out laughing. I join in. Later in the morning, after the pharaoh has performed his sacred rituals and attended to affairs of state, we meet in the palace garden. I've been exploring it on all fours, but now I stand on my hind legs and walk with him around the lotus pool. The flowers have opened in the late morning sun. The pharaoh wears the meanies, the headcloth with blue and yellow stripes he had on yesterday in the tomb. The bright sunlight catches the flaring gold cobra and the jutting gold vulture head set above his brow. He points to a spot under a sycamore tree. This is my favorite place. The pharaoh and I have the same taste. I've peed against this tree. He sits down on one of the pillows at the base of the tree. My rump sinks happily into a pillow beside his, and I rest my head against the tree trunk, content. Little birds are playing hide and seek among the leaves of the tree. I could catch one and share it with the pharaoh, but humans don't eat raw meat, and gods in human form are probably even fussier. I can't stuff my face while the pharaoh sits there with nothing to eat. Oh, if only he would close his eyes for a moment. Pharaoh, I ask him, what does the vizier do when he's not kicking cats or intruding on your privacy? He presides over the collection of taxes, he says, smiling and gently pulling on my ear. The High Court, my personal bodyguards. He is also mayor of Wasset. After me, he is the second most powerful man in Upper Egypt. There is another vizier in Lower Egypt. There are 2 viziers? You have nothing to fear from anyone. I will always be with you. But no more about Kakamut. I have something to tell you. He lets out a big sigh. I was 10 years old when both my parents died in a shipwreck. The vizier is my uncle. He was appointed by my father, his brother, and it was he who raised me. The poor pharaoh. A double tragedy, losing his parents and having the vizier as his uncle and guardian. I loved my father, but saw little of him, he continues, sighing again. When he was not taken up with religious duties or affairs, he spent his time studying ancient papyri. My mother I loved with all my heart, he continues, smiling now. She always made time to play with me, and we would play my favorite game in this very garden, hide and seek. She would scream with joy when she found me in my hiding place and tell me how she had worried she might not find me. I would throw my arms around her, and she would kiss me on my brow again and again. His smile has vanished, and I rub my head against his arm. I remember her last embrace, he says, his eyes tearful. As she was leaving to travel with my father, she knelt down, took me in her arms. I felt her breath lovingly caress my face, and told me how much she would miss me, and to be a good little pharaoh till her return. He's biting his lips. His hands are clasped together so tightly they're turning pale. Moments pass. His silence tells me part of him died with her. I'm so sorry, I say and lick his hands. He unclasps them and puts one on my shoulder. It feels cold and heavy, but I don't mind. That was 7 years ago. Only yesterday when I met you was I able to experience the joy of laughter again. You are a gift, a treasure given to me by the gods. You even look like a treasure. Your coat shines like silver in the sun, and your eyes are the color of the precious lapis. Tell me your name. I will have it immortalized in stone." I'm blushing under my fur. 2 days ago I was a stray. Yesterday I was given the power to talk and walk upright, and today I've become the pharaoh's friend. Truly the gods work in mysterious ways. I'm about to say so when a bird dropping lands on my head. The pharaoh turns away, his shoulders shaking. I could swear he's laughing. "Rapa Haman," I tell him. "My name is Rapa Haman.